Hello friends, if you are facing issues to how to find the values from the Z table, T table or F tables, and if you are preparing for any exam and you don't know how to find the values, even if you know everything, every step to solve the question, but you don't know how to calculate the value from these tables, right? Today I am going to explain in a very simple way on how to calculate the values of Z, T or F from the table, Z table, T table and F table. Okay, and I will also explain what is the formulas are there and what are the every related terms in a very simple way. Okay, so let's go to the concept. So first one is Z table. So what is the steps to calculate the probability using Z table? So there is a formula for to find the Z score, that is Z is equal to x minus mu minus sigma. As you most of the know why we use this formula. Okay, these are the prerequisites you should know. Okay, in this video I am only going to explain how to calculate the value from the Z table. Okay, so where x is the given value, mu is the mean and sigma is the standard deviation. Okay, first we have to calculate the Z score with this formula. Okay, next Z2, I mean the round 2, step 2, we have to round the Z value. So after calculating with the formula Z, we have already seen in the step 1, using the formula we will calculate the Z score. So once you found the formula, you have to round the calculated Z score to 2 decimal places. So example, if you got 1.236 as your Z value, right? So just write it as 1.23. Okay, so whatever you got the value for the Z, right? So what you have to do? You have to write in 2 decimal places. So you can ask, if you only got integer, then write 1.00. So if you got 1.1, then write 1.10. So what in step 2, what you have to do? You have to round the calculated Z score to 2 decimal places. Okay, this is step 2. Now step 3. What in step 3 you have to do? Locate the Z value. This is the main step to find the value from the Z table. So what is step 3? Locate the Z value in the table. So first 2 digits will be in the 1.2, we have to check, and second decimal digit 0.03. I will show you in the table. Okay, find the intersection row of the column. This is the step 3. Okay, just remember step 3, I will show you that in the table. Step 4 is read the probability value. Okay, so for example, we have taken Z equal to 1.23, right? So Z less than 1.23 is equal to 0.907. How? I will show you now. Okay, so answer is this. How you got this? Now let me show you that in the table. So this is the table. What we have taken? 1.23. See, 1.2. Take the Z value 1.2 to here. See, 1.2. This is the 1.2, right? So what we need to find? 1.23, right? So 1.2 on the Z1. Okay, Z row. So you have found the 1.2. Okay, so this row is there, right? This is the 1.2 row. Now what we have to find? 1.23, right? See, 23 is nothing but 0.03. We have to see 0.03. That is the reason in step 2 I told just round off the Z score into 2 decimal points. Okay, 1.23. That means we have to find 0.03. 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. Okay, this column and this row. What is the intersection one? 0.9065. Okay, 89065. This is the intersection point. So the value of the Z score according to the Z score table is 0.890. Okay, 65. So if you have negative values, like if you have the -1, then what you have to do? So for example, if you want to find Z less than -1.23, just what you have to tell, you can do like this. You can find the Z value for 1.23 and just do 1 minus the value. This is the answer you will get. At the final one, you have to write, always write from the Z table, the probability value is this. Okay, this is the way. These are the steps on how to calculate the value from the Z table. So if you are clear with this, then let us go to the T table. T table. Similarly, let me provide the steps. Step to find the critical value from the T table. So first step is we have to identify the type of test. We have to check whether the test is one-tailed or two-tailed. So also we have to, in the question itself, they will provide the level of significance. While calculating from the t table, right, they will be providing this level of significance as well. You have to check. Okay, first what you have to check, whether it is one-tailed or two-tailed. Also we have to note the level of significance. Now what is the next, what is the step 2? Step 2 is we have to find the, calculate the degrees of freedom. What is the formula for to find the degrees of freedom? Df is equal to n minus 1, where n is equal to sample size, which will be given in the question. So from the sample size you need to find the degree of freedom. Okay, so in the question it will be given the sample size. So from the sample size you have to find the df, degree of freedom. Now after finding, let us go to step 3. Step 3. Select the correct t-table. We have to choose the t-table corresponding to the given level of significance and type of test. That is one-tailed or two-tailed. We have to see according to the question. Now we have to look at the critical t-value. How? Row is, in row we have to check degrees of freedom, and column we have to check significance level alpha. The value at the intersection is the critical value. So let us see in the table. Okay, so take anything. So degree of freedom, what is the degree of freedom you have? Okay, so you will find the value here. If you have taken 15, then my df will be, degree of freedom will be 14. Now check this row. Okay, now what are these values? See, if I at the, in the question I told, right, please note down the level of significance. If the at the 5% of significance level is given, then you have to check for 0.005. Okay, like this according to the question. That is the reason I told. So 5% means just divide the 5 by 100. Okay, then it will be 0.05. So at this t 0.005, like that will be there, right? So intersection level. So it is something blur, right? So don't worry, I'm just telling the concept. Just remember, you have to find here the degree of freedom and here the level of significance. So from the row column there will be one intersection point, that will be your critical value. Okay, now what is the fifth step? Compare the calculated t table values. So we will calculate t calculate and the t table value we will get. Okay, so if the t calculated is less than or equal to t table, then accept the null hypothesis. Or if the t calculated is greater than the value we got from the t table, then it will be rejecting the null hypothesis. And step 6, hence write the conclusion. So always mention the result clearly. From the t table, the critical value at the significance level, like level of significance is equal to, and the degree of freedom the given is okay, you have to write this. According to this way, you have to write the conclusion for the t table. Got it? What we have done according to the step by step. So remember everything. Very simple to find the value from the t table. Okay, just follow these steps. Okay, now the last one, f table. So steps to find the critical value from f table. Step 1, we have to identify the purpose of this test. What is the purpose of the test? We have to find while calculating the critical value from the f table. So the f test is used to compare two variances or in ANOVA. It is always a one-tailed test. Okay, f test is used to compare two variances or in ANOVA. Also it is a one-tailed test. So remember this. Okay, what is the purpose of the test? We need to find first. After that we have to arrange the variances. So we have to use the formula f is equal to s1 square by s2 square. Also don't forget the maximum variance value should be in the numerator, because f is always greater than or is equal to 1. Okay, this is the step 2, arranging the variances. Next, step 3, calculating the degree of freedom. So the same formula for t table we have used, right? For f table also we will be using the same formula. Df is equal to n minus 1. But here in f table we will be having the two degrees of freedoms. Df1 is equal to n1 minus 1 and df2 is equal to n2 minus 2, n2 minus 1. Okay, so where n1 and n2 are sample sizes. This is the step 3. We have to calculate the degree of freedom, df1, df2. And once step 3 you have completed, then we will be going to step 4. What is the step 4 here? We have to select the correct F table. Like choose the F table corresponding to the level of significance. Which level of significance is given. So mostly in your exams, right, while they asking question, right, maximum they will ask 5%, or if it changes to 1%. In these two only they will ask in the exam. Okay. You just need to check these two max. And step 5 is locate the critical F value. How to locate that? Degree of freedom first for first, and degree of denominator degree of freedom df2. What is that? According to that you will be finding the critical F value. Let me show you in the table, from the table. See, there will be a table for df1 and df2. What is the df1? If you check 10, 12, 15, all this there, right? So you in exam they will be providing these tables, okay, for you. So you have to check from that. Okay, here you have to see, here you have to see. Okay, so what is the df1 and df2 intersection point? That will be the answer. Got it? Whenever there is a table, what is the upper value, what is the lower value, the intersection point will be the F value, like that. Okay. Now what is the step 6? So we have to compare the values. If the F calculated is less than or equal to F table, we have to accept the null hypothesis. Or if F calculated is greater than F table, then we have to reject the null hypothesis. Okay, remember this. Similar to T table. And at last what we will do? We will write the conclusion. So always write from the F table the critical value at the level of significance, given level of significance for the degree of freedom 1 and degree of freedom 2 is the final value that we got from the intersection point. Got it? So if you like this video and the way of explanation, so don't forget to subscribe my channel and share it to more members, from which they will also get benefit. Okay, so thank you and see you in the next video.